Everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for so many blessings that we're fortunate to have. We ask that you guide us and direct us in making some difficult decisions. We ask that you help us find value in everyone in this room and also everybody that we touch. We ask all this in your holy name. Amen.
Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Chris McKinney.
Here.
Chris Satterfield.
Present.
Terry Warnicka.
Here.
Skip Willis.
Here.
Carl Willis. Here.
An executive session meeting was held prior to the regular board meeting and no other subject matter was discussed in the executive session other than the subject matter that was specified in the public notice. If anybody has any questions on that, they can contact me or our board attorney, Grant Schwartz and Trooper. So first of all, we got the public meeting for review of the proposed superintendent contract. And let's see here. This contract was posted. It was made public. I'm sure that's why we're here. I'm going to read some of the highlights. The board shall pay the superintendent an annual salary of $124,591.91 to be paid in the manner as the salary payments. And they're made to others, or I'm sorry, paid in the same manner as salary payments are made to other school corporation administrators. The board shall make available health insurance. They will make available dental insurance. They will make available vision insurance. The board shall make available life insurance to the superintendent and shall contribute the full premium minus $1 to provide the term life insurance policy of having a face value of $50,000. Let's see here. The board shall make available long-term disability to the superintendent and shall contribute the entire premium per year for a policy with a benefit amount of 66 2/3% of the superintendent's contracted yearly salary. Let's see. The board shall contribute 2% to the 401k. The board shall continue to require contribution in the NIPRS for the superintendent's portion. The superintendent shall receive 12 sick leave days per year and accumulate up to a minimum or to a maximum of 200 unused sick days. The superintendent shall receive 5 days of personal leave per school year without loss of pay. Unused personal days are transferred to the accumulated sick leave at the end of the contract year. The superintendent shall receive 20 paid vacation days. You'll be able to carry those over. Any unused vacation days over 40 will be forfeited at the end of each contract year. The superintendent shall receive a cell phone stipend of $20 per pay up to 24 times a year. And again, a copy of the proposed contract is available at the website at the pcsc.k12.in.us. So with that, we will open it up to public comments for this section of it. And we have Melissa Traylor. And again, before we get started on our public comments, I know we're going to have a lot later. During the public comments portion, we'll have 3 minutes. So, and I want to say I appreciate everybody being here. Everybody's, as Terry said, everybody's opinion is valued, and everybody's going to have different opinions. We just ask for the respect of everyone. All right? Thank you. Yeah, you can sit there.
Dear members of the school board, my name is Melissa Traylor, and I'm a Pike Central High School graduate from the class of 2004, a 17-year teacher in the Pike County School Corporation, and president of the Pike County Teachers Association. As our corporation moves through the important process of selecting and hiring a new superintendent, I would like to respectfully share several concerns regarding the proposed superintendent contract that has recently been advertised. First, many employees and community members have questions regarding the proposed starting salary. While we recognize the significance and responsibilities of the superintendent position, it's difficult to understand why a newly hired superintendent would begin at the same salary level as a retiring superintendent who's accumulated many years of experience within our corporation. In a time when our district continues to face financial challenges and difficult budget decisions, it's important to ensure that compensation reflects both current conditions and the experience of the candidate selected. Second, we believe the board should consider offering an initial 1-year contract rather than a maximum allowed 3-year contract. The hiring of a new superintendent represents one of the most significant decisions a school board can make. A 1-year contract will allow both the board and the superintendent an opportunity to evaluate progress, establish working relationships, and assess leadership effectiveness before committing to a longer agreement. This approach would reinforce accountability while providing flexibility as our corporation addresses ongoing challenges. Finally, we have concerns regarding the amount of paid time off included in the proposed contract. As members of the bargaining team, we frequently hear concerns regarding employee absences and time away from work. It's therefore difficult to understand those concerns with a contract that appears to award nearly 15% of a 260-day work calendar as paid time off. For perspective, if teachers were provided an equivalent amount of leave, we would have 26 days annually, rather than the 14 provided in our current collective bargaining agreement. We believe expectations regarding attendance, availability, and stewardship of taxpayer resources should remain consistent across all levels of our group. These concerns are not intended to diminish the importance of attracting qualified candidates. We all share the goal of finding a highly capable leader who can guide our schools through a critical period of transition. However, we also believe that transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility should remain central considerations as the board negotiates and finalizes a contract. The financial challenges facing our corporation make this decision particularly important. The next superintendent will play a pivotal role in restoring financial stability, rebuilding trust, strengthening relationships with staff, students, and the community, and ensuring that every decision remains focused on improving outcomes for students. Thank you for your service to our schools. I genuinely mean that, and for your thoughtful consideration of these concerns. We appreciate the time and effort you guys are dedicating to selecting our superintendent, and remain hopeful that the process will result in strong leadership and a brighter future for our students, staff, and the community.
Thank you.
Guys.
There's no other comments on that. So at this point, I guess we just need a motion. Oh, personnel, okay. All right. Well, we'll go to public, we'll go to meetings. Public meeting for review of proposed, or no, that was just a presentation and approval of minutes for the regular session and executive session meeting held on May 12th, 2026.
Motion to accept those minutes.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes. Any questions? Not all in favor, raise your hand. Review of finances.
Okay. The first item in your packet is actually the vouchers, which is the second one on the agenda. But the vouchers are 22196 through 22334. Do you have any questions on any of the vouchers?
No.
Make a motion, we approve the vouchers.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to pay the claims. Any questions? Not all in favor, raise your hand.
Okay, under the financial reports, we start with the monthly bank statements. German American Bank has $1,215,584.19. Home Building has $80,955.58. We have a combined total in the banks right now of $1,296,539.77. Do you have any questions on anything in the bank statements?
I do not.
Then we go into our fund reports. The first two cash flows, if you recall, have been modified to meet the requirements that DUAB told us they wanted to see the cash projections in. So you start with the education fund and then the operation fund. Following that, you have the GeoBond 2019 information, the rainy day fund, and the affidavit of the expenses for the 2025 multi-building lease corporate bond. We currently have an available balance left in that bond of $3,903,423.54. And again, the primary items out of that bond are the renovations to the vocational building, and the roofs at Pike Central are some of the biggest ones that are coming out right now. In our fund report, the education fund currently has a balance of $210,315. Debt service has a balance of $281,230. Operations has a balance of $676,980. The rainy day fund has a balance of $14,942. The GEO bonds have a balance of $5,493. The remaining funds are there for your review if you have any questions. Following that is the revenue report with the money that has come in both 2-month and year to date. We did receive a portion of the tax draw for CVET and FIT taxes, so commercial vehicle excise tax and our financial institution tax. We received a total deposit of $40,327. FIT was $10,766 of that. CVET was $28,664. We were told today that we are not likely to receive our June tax draw by June 30th as required. So we are going to have to look at what we have available to do any transfers or anything. Again, we'll reach out and talk to the auditor some more, but
That is nothing on the school's
no,
portion. That is something strictly from the county.
the county and state. The last report in your packet is appropriations. So do you have questions on any of those?
I do not. You? Yes.
No.
Okay. Do have update?
Okay, DUAB, or the Distressed Unit Appeal Board, we had submitted a corrective action plan on January 20th. We presented it March 3rd. I have referenced this report in the presentations financial presentations from March, April, and May. They did ask us to revisit the plan and make it harsher, tougher, more aggressive, whichever term you want to use. They felt like we needed to take some deeper steps towards correcting the financial concerns. The update asked for establishing a plan to right-size the district staff to district enrollment, establish a plan to right-size the district's program offerings to district enrollment, establish a plan to right-size facilities, establish a plan to increase salaries. They want the corrective action plan updated with a plan B due to them on August 4th, and then we will have to present the plan again. At this time, it's either September or October. It looks like in October. The steps that we had in place for 26-27 school year, we offered an early retirement incentive. We had hoped to get 10 teachers. We got 2. That was a savings of $168,734. We had discussed reducing administrative contracts. That's not been completed. That's the education side. We discussed reducing administrative contracts in the operations side. We had 2 positions that did some reduction for an amount of $4,500 or $4,564. Attrition of positions, we have 11 positions that have been absorbed for a total of $913,490. We reduced our software expenses by $50,000. The total savings of the items of positions up to the software is $1,086,789. We have some items that we are looking at to discussing in contract talks. I have shared that with the UNISERV director earlier this year. Discussion of reducing extended contracts, adjusting health premiums to the portion covered between the school corporation and the employee. In the past, when things were tight, we looked at suspending the 401A, the VIVA, and the 3% TURF-PERF contributions. So that again is on the table. If we could sell the Outlaw property for the minimum sale price required by statute, that would be $512,000. Of course, it'd be great if there's more. We are discussing a referendum for the fall of 2026. We are in the planning process and we'll review the question this evening. We anticipate if we could run a successful referendum, we could receive 2.2 million in additional revenue. We also implemented a marketing plan. If we could capture 10 new students, that would increase our revenue by $80,000. So that's it. Does anybody has any questions on any of the stuff? Okay.
All right, next is consideration of referendum question.
Okay. So as part of the process, we had to get the auditor's certification for the property. We had to determine what was the median household value in Pike County, because that has to be part of the question. We do have the certification. The median household value was $149,000, so rounded up to the closest 50,000 as required by statute for the referendum question. It will show a median household at $150,000. The dollar amount by which the annual property tax bill for a household would increase per year if the corporation imposes a maximum annual referendum rate of 25 cents and a maximum annual referendum levy of 2.2 million would be the amount of $149 for the year, not month, for the year. As part of the process, we have the wording of the question. It has had preliminary review by DLGF and met their requirements. We have the resolution that we have passed. We have a proposed spending revenue plan that has to be submitted to them as well. And if the question is approved tonight, then the next major step for us is to have the official question submitted to the courthouse by August 1st, noon. So the question, and they have given us guidance to make it as confusing as possible. And for all of you who don't like to learn by reading, I'm sorry, but I got to read it because I can't show it. The question will be, shall Pike County School Corporation increase property taxes paid to the school corporation for no more than 8 years for the purpose of funding and maintaining daily educational operations, including maintaining operations at existing school buildings, retaining teachers and staff, supporting essential safety initiatives, and providing academic and CTE programs and opportunities to meet the learning needs of all students in response to reductions in property tax revenue by imposing a property tax rate that does not exceed 25 cents and results in a maximum annual amount that does not exceed $2,200,000. If this operating referendum public question is approved by the voters for a median residence of $150,000, the property's annual property tax bill would increase by $149 per year. So if the board approves this, if we proceed with it and get it to the courthouse for the ballot by the deadline, this is what would appear on the ballot for you voters. Have any questions on any of that?
I do not. I'll make a motion to approve the question.
I second
A motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Not all in favor, raise your hand. Other? No. Patron comments. All right. So we got a list here. Again, patron comments will be limited to 3 minutes. We asked for everybody's participation to be respectful. We value everybody's opinion, and we ask that nothing just is the same thing over and over, repetitive. We just ask for if it's kind of keep on track with everybody's thing, but each one will have 3 minutes. So with that, get set up here. First, we have Marcia Hill.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I just want to say a couple of things. For the past several years, Many people have been afraid to speak up at board meetings, in different places to different people because they are afraid, and I'm embarrassed to say this has been me included, afraid to speak up because of the fear of retaliation and vindictiveness displayed by certain people towards members at the school and in the community. The other thing is I think that the school board needs to be certain that you review facts on every decision, everything you hear just as hearsay or somebody's perception of, that needs to be reviewed. All people, all concerns for the best interest of our staff and our students and for our community. One last thing is the survey that was sent out. It looks like that was sent out by SurveyMonkey. Now, SurveyMonkey usually comes back to the people who sent it out. And there is the opportunity to manipulate those results. So I wonder why a professional, ethical survey was not sent to all people in the community, all taxpayers, children in schools or not. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Jason Smith. Hello.
Hello, so thank you for this opportunity. It's not gonna work. All right, so I just have 2 quick points I'd like to make. One about declining enrollment and then one about what we can afford. So specifically with the declining enrollment, like why a parent would send their child to a school, why a Pike County family would send their kid to a school outside of Pike County. I know there's been a lot of discussion and disappointment, maybe even some judgment about why that would happen. Before I go on, I was born and raised in Pike County. My grandfather taught and retired as a teacher in Pike County. My mother taught and retired as a teacher in Pike County. My wife currently teaches in Pike County. I've lived the majority of my life in Pike County, raised my sons in Pike County. Excuse me. We support Pike County schools. But at some point, you have to wonder how much Pike County schools support the families of Pike County. What are we offering these kids? So, speaking personally, we sent our sons to a high school that offered so much more. Smaller class sizes, much more opportunity, both in like science, mathematics, the classes, clubs, extracurriculars. The list goes on and on. And we couldn't, in good conscience, deny them those opportunities. So I share this to make this point. And I've taught in public schools for 20 years in Pike County, in Washington, at Heritage Hills, at Evansville. Offering less will never increase enrollment. Contracting, absorbing, it just won't work. Public schools should absolutely never be run like a business because the product of public schools are kids. And not just kids who have been ushered through the system to graduation, but ideally kids who can reason with intellect and compassion, and kids who can sit with a problem long enough to solve it. And this is a problem. And I've seen this. This is not just a Pike County problem. This is a public school problem. But running a school like a business, not running a school like a business doesn't mean there are not financial concerns. Every school corporation is going through that too. So what can we afford? Obviously not everything we want, so we have to pick and choose. What can we afford that will most help the children and teachers of Pike County? Because anyone who knows anything about education knows that the best way to help a student is to support the teachers. And if you don't know that, you need to get out of education or get into a classroom and figure that out. So again, what can we afford? I'm not sure what we can afford, but I feel like I have a good idea of what we can't. I'm going to give you a statistic. Don't take my word for this. Look it up. I found this on the National Literacy Institute. Of course,
Wrap it up.
oh, is that wrap it up? Okay, I'll leave you with this statistic. I found it on the National Literacy Institute and the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy. 54% of U.S. adults aged 16 to 74 read below a 6th grade level. That's over half the people in this room reading below a 6th grade level. That's below a 6th grade level understanding of science and health, politics, government, finance, economics. That's a dangerous society to live in. But that's a problem that's important enough to solve. So my point is absorbing 2 high school English teachers and that ripple effect for what? An assistant superintendent that, let's be honest, we don't need. You did this job for a long time without one, right? You can't keep pulling teachers out of a classroom and expect enrollment to go up or kids to learn. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Candy Meyer. Hello.
Hello. I know most of you very well. Oh, some I do not. So I am Candy Meyer. This will be my 25th year in the school corporation and my 20th year teaching. I graduated from Pike Central in 1998, which means, yes, I know you're shocked, but I was there in the 1900s. My students have a hard time with that too. I get to start us off, and it's really a thank you for everything. You have undoubtedly heard a lot of us over the last few weeks. Before we share our thoughts on these important decisions, I want to begin with a sincere thank you. I know that serving on a school board is a difficult and thankless responsibility. The decisions you make impact students, staff, families, and our entire community. I also recognize that the financial challenges facing our corporation have placed an extraordinary burden on everyone involved in the decision-making process. None of these choices are easy. And I appreciate the time, effort, and dedication that each of you brings to serving Pike County Schools. Truly. I would also like to thank our administrators. Every day, they are asked to balance countless responsibilities while supporting students, staff, and families. The work is demanding, and I'm grateful for the commitment they continue to show our schools and our community. Special shout out to Mindy Keeker, to Randy Meese. I've never felt more appreciated or supported until I was at Pike Central Middle School. As our president previously emailed on April 30th, the selection of our next superintendent is one of the most important decisions facing our district. The individual chosen for this role will help guide Pike County Schools through a critical period of financial responsibility and long-term growth. Beyond managing budgets and resources, our next superintendent will have the opportunity to build trust, strengthen relationships, and unite all stakeholders around a shared vision for student success. The decisions made in the coming months and years will have a lasting impact on our schools, and I appreciate the thoughtful consideration being given to selecting a leader who can navigate these challenges while continuing to prioritize students, staff, and our community. As educators, we all share the same goal: helping students succeed. That common purpose is what brings us together and what should continue to guide us through these challenging times. While financial constraints may require difficult conversations and decisions, I hope we never lose sight of one of our greatest resources, and that's our teachers. Teachers work directly with students every day. They see firsthand what is working and what the challenges are. They see what opportunities are available to help students grow. Their perspectives are valuable, and when teachers, administrators, and board members work together, our students are the ones who benefit the most. I want to encourage continued collaboration and open communication between administrators and teachers. When educators feel heard, I'm talking as fast as I can, respected and included in discussion, trust grows. Strong relationships create stronger schools, and stronger schools create better outcomes for our students. The challenges we face today are significant, but I believe our greatest strength is our ability to work together. We may not always agree on every issue, but we can remain united in our commitment to provide the best possible education for our children. Thank you for your service, your leadership, and your willingness to face these challenges on behalf of our students and our community. I appreciate the work that each of you does, and I look forward to continuing to work together to ensure that Pike County Schools remains a place where students can learn, grow, and succeed.
Thank you.
Next, we have Anicia Burkhardt.
Good evening. I'm here to express my concern regarding the hiring of an assistant superintendent during a time when the school corporation is facing financial challenges. I understand that school leadership positions are important and that managing a corporation requires significant responsibility. However, there is concern about how district funds are being prioritized. With ongoing budget pressures affecting classrooms, staff, programs, and resources for students, adding higher level administrative salary may not be the best financial decision at this time. I respectfully encourage the board to carefully consider whether the duties and responsibilities of an assistant superintendent could instead be managed within the current administrative structure until the corporation is in a strong financial position. Preserving resources for teachers, student programs, transportation, classroom materials, and other district educational needs should remain the highest priority. Decisions made now will have a lasting impact on students and staff throughout the district. I ask the board to exercise caution and place the immediate educational and financial needs of the corporation first. Thank you for your time and service on this matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jen Smith.
Good evening, members of the Pike County School Board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Jen Smith, and I'm a special education teacher at the middle school. I'm a member of Pike County's Teacher Association and serve on the bargaining team. First, I want to acknowledge that our school corporation is facing significant financial challenges. Those challenges are real, and I understand that difficult decisions must be made. However, when resources are limited, I believe our priorities should be protecting physicians that work directly with students every day. Over the past years, teaching and support staff positions have not been replaced when employees have left. As a result, the responsibilities of those positions are now being absorbed by the staff who remain. Teachers, aides, and support personnel are being asked to do more with less, all while continuing to meet the needs of our students. I have watched teachers at Pike Central do whatever it takes for kids. We buy supplies with our own money, stay after school, arrive early, attend games and performances, answer emails at night, and carry the worries of our students long after the school day ends. As we look ahead to another year of larger class sizes and increasing student needs, I worry about what doing more with less means for both students and teachers. Today's students come to us with a wide range of needs: academic needs, emotional needs, behavioral needs, and many come to us with personal challenges, and they deserve our time, attention, and support. Teachers will continue to give their all because we care deeply about our students. But caring deeply does not create more time in the day. At some point, doing more with less means everyone gets a little less, and our students deserve more than that. I have concerns about filling an assistant superintendent position at this time. If we're unable to replace employees who work directly with students, how can we justify replacing a position whose job description includes little or no direct interaction with students? The financial impact is significant. Choosing not to fill this position could save the corporation over $100,000 annually. At a time when every dollar matters, that savings could be redirected toward areas that directly benefit students. I would suggest waiting to see if this is truly a position that needs to be replaced, or if the responsibilities can be absorbed similarly to how teachers have adjusted and absorbed additional duties. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have Tina Gulich.
And I just want to start by saying I did practice today and it was under 3 minutes, but right, so good evening. Before I begin, I want to emphasize that I am not here in opposition to this board or our administration at all. That's not what this is tonight. I'm here to share a perspective from those who work closest to our students every day. Teachers are on the front lines of education. They see the challenges, successes, and needs of our students firsthand. My comments tonight are simply offered from that perspective and with a shared goal of helping our students to succeed. Having said all that, I'm Tina Gullidge. I'm a lifelong resident of Pike County and a 1995 graduate of Pike Central High School. I've taught at Pike Central Middle School for 18 years. The past 3 years, I've served as co-president of the PCTA, helping to bridge communication between teachers and the corporation itself. I've also participated in contract negotiations for much of my career. In an attempt to offer up some insight and perspective, the Teachers Association has closely examined 18 Indiana districts with enrollments between 1,400 students and 1,550 students. Of these 18 school corporations with similar student enrollments to Pike County, we have the 5th highest expenditure on central office administration. Yet our starting teacher salary is the lowest of those 18. I think that statistic deserves some reflection. It raises an important question. Are we allocating our limited resources in a way that best supports student learning and teacher recruitment? Side note, Pike County starting salary is actually second lowest in the entire state. And I think that's disappointing. As you are all aware, meeting that $45,000 minimum salary remains a challenge, and 20 of our teachers are currently earning below that number. I think it's worth asking, how do we balance administrative costs while meeting teacher salary requirements? Are we allocating funds to best recruit and retain high-quality teachers? Are we focusing on student success? We all care about students. I know that this board cares about students. That's not in question. The question is whether our spending reflects that priority. As a teacher, I believe that student-facing staff have the greatest impact on schools. If we want families to choose Pike County, we must be able to recruit and retain high-quality educators. Now, regardless of tonight's decision, I know the administrative team will do their best to provide a quality education within the constraints of our limited budget. And with 100% certainty, I can say that our faculty and staff will continue working to provide the very best education. And my hope is that we will all, everybody in this room, my hope is that we will all remain dedicated to and invested in that shared goal. I'd like to close by encouraging continued open communication between the board, administration, and the Teachers Association. We have built a fantastic relationship over the years. There's been a lot of trust built between the three of us as groups, and that's vital in times of change and uncertainty. One last thing, I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Blake for her years. And congratulations on your last school board meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you.
Next is Courtney Lovelace.
Hello. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Courtney Lovelace. I'm a 1997 graduate of Pike Central High School, and I returned home after college to teach and raise my family in Pike County. I have a son who recently graduated from Pike Central, and my other son is an incoming sophomore. I have been teaching in the Pike County School Corporation for 24 years, and I've been in 5th grade for 23 of those. And I am the current membership chair for the association. So on behalf of our current and retired teachers and support staff, I would like to share several concerns that have been expressed by our staff members regarding the proposed assistant superintendent position
and how it relates to our corporation's current financial situation. First, many staff members have concerns about our financial priorities. Our corporation continues to face significant budget challenges. Families, staff members, and community members are being asked to do more with less. In this environment, many question whether keeping another high-level administrative position is the most responsible use of limited resources at this time. At a time when declining enrollment remains one of the greatest challenges facing our corporation, every available dollar should be evaluated based on whether it helps attract, retain, and serve the students. Second, there are concerns regarding potential financial savings. Pike County School Corporation successfully operated without an assistant superintendent from 2013 until 2019 as a cost-cutting measure. Eliminating or delaying this position could result in substantial savings. Those savings could be redirected toward areas that directly impact students, including classroom resources, academic programs, staffing needs, and student support services. Many feel that every available dollar should be carefully evaluated to ensure it is being invested where it will have the greatest impact on student success. Third, there are questions about the duties assigned to this position. A review of the job description shows responsibilities that could be distributed among existing personnel rather than keeping the assistant superintendent position. Finally, there is a concern about fairness and workload. Teachers, support staff, and administrators throughout the district routinely absorb additional duties when vacancies occur or budgets are tight. Employees across the corporation have stepped up time and again to meet the needs of students while managing increasing responsibilities. Many believe the same approach should be considered before hiring this position. In recent years, the corporation's financial stability has enabled us to maintain this position, and it has provided significant value. However, given our current financial crisis, we respectfully request that hiring for this position be paused for the upcoming school year. Leaving the position unfilled would also demonstrate to the DUAB representative that the corporation is committed to meaningful cost-saving measures and is willing to make difficult but financially responsible decisions. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Phone's about to look at it. Can do it? Okay. My phone's about, okay, I've got one. My phone's going dead. I can't see it. All right, let's see here. Thank you. Christine Meyer. Thank you. Hello.
I'm so glad we get to sit down. My name is Christine Adams Meyer, and I've had the privilege of teaching at Pike Central Middle School for the past 29 years. Before I begin, I'd like to say this is actually the very first school board meeting that I've ever attended in all those years. I've always believed my greatest impact was made in the classroom. However, I feel strongly enough about this issue that I am compelled to be here tonight. Throughout my career, I have been honored to serve our students in many different ways. I coached, sponsored extracurricular activities, created Mason's General Store, helped lead school initiatives, and managed our middle school social media pages to celebrate the incredible things happening at PCMS. I've spent nearly 3 decades not just teaching, but investing in our students, families, and school community. Boy, that makes me sound old. Anyway, I share that list not to brag about my accomplishments, but just to demonstrate my commitment to PCMS and all the students that we serve. I understand our school corporation is facing difficult financial decisions, and I appreciate the work being done to address those challenges. However, I have concerns regarding the proposed relocation of central office staff into our middle school and the resulting movement of middle school teachers and programs. My concern is not about the people or offices. I genuinely respect and appreciate every member of our central office staff. My concern is about students and preserving the identity of Pike Central Middle School. PCMS is more than a section of a building. It's a community designed specifically for middle school students in grades 6 through 8. Middle school students need a place that feels like their own. This isn't about offices. It isn't
about what happens, oh, excuse me, I made a mistake. It isn't about offices. It's about what happens when student-centered spaces become something else. Every change may seem small on paper, but together those changes can affect the feel, function, and identity of a school. Students may not understand the reasons behind these changes, but they do understand when their school starts to feel different. They notice when spaces that once belonged to them become something else. Those changes may seem small to adults, but to a middle school student, they can affect their sense of ownership, belonging, and pride in their school. As educators, we spend countless hours helping students feel connected. We celebrate their successes, support them through challenges, and create opportunities for them to grow. That sense of belonging doesn't happen by accident. It happens because students feel that Pike Central Middle School is their school. For some students, it's also the place where they feel the safest, most supported, and most understood. When families move into our district, one of the strengths we can offer is a dedicated middle school experience. Many parents appreciate knowing their 6th, 7th, and 8th grade children have an environment tailored specifically to their needs. When student-centered spaces are moved for administrative purposes, it can create the perception that convenience is taking priority over the student experience. I know that's not the intention, but perception often becomes reality in the eyes of our community. I respectfully ask the board and administration to continue exploring alternatives. There has to be a way to address space needs while preserving the identity and independence of our school. Losing classroom spaces to retest to our IEP students, moving our robotics room, and potential effects to Mason's General Store are all effects of moving central office. We do amazing things at PCMS. I see students succeeding, teachers going above and beyond, and programs making a difference every day. I'm proud of our school, proud of the work we do, and proud to continue showing up every day to do the best I can for our students. My hope is we find a solution that addresses operational needs while preserving the culture, identity, and sense of belonging that makes PCMS special. Thank you all so much for your time, your service, and your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No?
I do. I changed it. I had to change it. I'm using stopwatch, not timer.
Huh?
I'm using stopwatch,
Oh.
not timer. So.
All right. Thank you, Christine. Next, we have Mark Lichtenberg.
Good evening, Dr. Blake, President McKinney, members of the board. My name is Mark Lichtenberg. I am a Indiana State Teachers Association UNISERV director who has had the pleasure of representing the teachers of Pike County for the past 11 plus years. Before I make my comments, I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of my time to ask everyone here to join me in showing their appreciation for the 13 years of dedicated service by your outgoing superintendent, Dr. Suzanne Blake. We have a little gift for you, but I'm not going to take up my time to give you the gift. I can do it after I'm done. Congratulations to you, and I wish you well in your retirement. You've heard from a number of teachers tonight. I can tell you, because I represent a lot of teachers in this region, that Pike County enjoys some of the most loyal teachers around. Many of them were students here. They grew up here. They went away to school and they came back here to raise their own families and teach in this community. That's not a resource that should be taken lightly. And I hope that you have listened to what they've had to say and take their concerns to heart. When's the last time a board meeting here has had this sort of attendance? I suspect not ever, or very, very rarely. And that should speak volumes to the importance folks are placing on the continued health of the school corporation here in Pike County. A good number of the teachers remember 2013, which was the last time when Pike County School Corporation experienced a financial crisis. At that time, they agreed to some pretty painful cuts for them. Salary cuts, benefit cuts, and ongoing wage freezes for the years that followed in order to right the ship, because they knew that if we all worked together, we could absorb some painful cuts with the knowledge that it wasn't going to be permanent. The other thing that happened in 2013 is that the assistant superintendent position was vacated due to a retirement. And I know that that is a possibility now again today. In 2019, that position was once again filled, and the email from Dr. Blake to the staff at that time said, this position has been vacant since 2013 as one of the cost reduction measures the corporation implemented. Filling the position is a reflection of the positive direction of the corporation's finances. In 2013, I'm certain that it was a painful and difficult decision to leave that position vacant. But with everyone working together, it didn't have to be permanent. And that seems to be where we are again today. We see another financial downturn in Pike County, and we don't know everything that the future holds. But here's what we do know. As employees resign or retire, they are not all being replaced. There will be fewer teachers and support staff in schools. Teacher workloads will increase as a result. We've heard in the DUAB report about right sizing, and we believe that right sizing should apply across the board. And that is why you've heard what you have heard tonight. I appreciate everything that you do as school board members. It's not an easy job, and you have difficult decisions to make at every turn. We oftentimes, because of my role and your role, sit across the table from one another on issues, and we have been successful over the years in coming to agreement that is best or as best as we can get to for everyone involved. And we are committed to doing that again here in this situation, and we ask for your consideration of all the comments made here tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Dr. Blake, on behalf of the association, I've been asked to deliver this to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Steve Potter.
I'm going to be checking your time close.
Yes, extremely close.
First of all, to board members, the folks in the arena, you know what I mean? I want to let you know that in our home, you're lifted up daily in prayer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Every single day. We pray for God to give you the wisdom to lead us through all the challenges. And I understand the weight that's on each and every one of you for the decisions that you make. I may not have to agree with every one of them. It doesn't matter. I respect the effort you're putting in and the due diligence that you're doing. And I want to thank you from my heart for it. Lastly, I want to thank Dr. Blake for your years of service, for what people saw and what they did not see. The hours and hours, countless hours of your own time away from here. I've told people before, I don't know of any other school corporation that had a superintendent pick kids up in the minivan and make sure that they got to school, but we have one that did. Thank you for that. And you've been a blessing to this community, this corporation. Enjoy your retirement, chasing after your grandkids. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. All right, I want to thank everybody for the comments. And again, we appreciate all of them, and thank you for your time and keeping everything the way you did. We appreciate that. So moving on, we will go to old business. Nope. New business. Recommend approval of corporation insurance policies. Renewal, sorry.
You have in your packet the insurance renewal proposal and the breakdown. The first one came in that it was going to increase by 4.26%. Did some working around, tried to look at some of our options, and we have an option 2 and a 1 and 2. And our conversation with them was that we felt the option 2 was reasonable. It increases, it keeps our property deductible at $10,000, but having a more per occurrence cap on the total property limit of $100 million. This means that the company would never pay more than $100 million for any property claim that may occur. Property coverage includes buildings, business, personal property, the inland marine, computer equipment, audiovisual, musical instruments, athletic equipment, miscellaneous, etc. If we go with option 2, we will have
You're
a.
early. Sorry.
I give her the By going with option 2 and the 100 million cap, we could actually drop our premium 3.45%. So we would go down to $335,390. Again, given the way the demographic layout of our schools, if we were all in one spot, we'd have a higher chance of all buildings being hit by one major incident. We're spread out a little differently. Chelsea and I think it's good to roll the dice and try option 2, but it's up to you guys. So
That's your recommendation, and Chelsea,
our
our treasurer.
recommendation.
Make a motion, we approve it.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? Not all in favor, raise your hand. All right, thank you. Recommend acceptance of donations.
We have a donation from Kevin and Kay Claridge in the amount of $500 for the Mason's General Store. We have $1,000 from Pike Gives for the podium lectern replacement at PC Auditorium. We have $250 from Alpha Laser for towards the Summer of Learning activities, which is next week. We also have donations to go towards the book study hosted by Dana Williams on the do's and don'ts of dealing with chronic disruptive behavior in your classroom. $26 from Fizz Me Up, $52 from Kayla Angermeyer, $26 from Williams Event Services, $156 from Petersburg Hardware, and $100 from the Oak Flower Shop. That's it on donations this time.
I make a motion to accept donations.
I'll second that, and a big thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Recommend approval of the high school student handbook.
We got fundraiser.
Oh, missed it. Recommend approval of fundraiser.
So we have a recommendation for a summer fundraiser proposed by Mr. Chris Kramer. It's for the strength and conditioning program at the school. The money, he wants to host a camp, and the funds would be used for t-shirts and the coaches that assist.
I'll make a motion, we approve the fundraiser.
Oh, I'm sorry, we got some others. I apologize. Petersburg Elementary Student Council for the coming school year wants to do a 50-cent Friday card canned food drive for somebody's place in November and sell small items for Valentine's Day. The librarian wants to do 2 book fairs, October and February, sticker shop in August, and a pet food drive for paws in the month of April. That's all the fundraisers. Sorry. Okay. I still make a motion, we approve the fundraisers. Motion is second. All in favor, raise your hand. Recommend approval of the high school student handbook. Mr. Kokenauer had sent over the proposed changes. He wants to, the cell phone and electronic devices is going to be updated in accordance with the new Indiana code, and that will come before you again just as soon as possible to make sure we're in alignment. He also wants to delete the convocation schedule that's currently showing printed in the handbook. On the final exam policy, he shows you what the old language was. The new one he's proposing is final exams would not be mandatory, up to teacher's discretion. If a class is dual credit or AP, finals are given in accordance with the dual credit provider or the AP College Board. In the guidance area, on the course retakes and replacement, he has some new language there that if they fail a course, they can retake it. And upon retaking it, the original grade and the grade earned both remain on the student transcript and are factored into GPA. And then the next item, middle school course credit, would be, so the courses that are completed in the middle school or high school credit, the new language would show Students enrolled at the middle school may have the opportunity to take select courses. No matter the grade received, it must be reflected on the high school transcript, including failing grades. And then the work permit policy needs removed because the school no longer issues those.
I didn't listen to him, but
You'll have elementary at the next one.
okay. Well, I make a motion, we approve the student handbook, the changes to the student handbook.
I'll second that motion.
The motion is second. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand. All right, recommend approval of amended PC roof project.
So on March 26th, I asked the board to review the bids that had been submitted for roofing project for replacement of the Pike Central Auditorium roof and the Pike Central High School gym. South Central Roofing had the winning bid. They bid on both projects. The combined total was $802,000. As they started on the work, they realized that the decking actually needs to be replaced, and that had not been put into the specs whenever the project was put out for bid. So with the decking cost, that increased the bid for the gym up to $926,000. It was originally $394,000. The bid for the auditorium changed from $408,000 to $944,138 because of the acoustic decking that has to be used for that area. With all the work we had done in the auditorium, I was leaning towards auditorium was the worst one. That was the one I always thought had the most difficulty, but I believe we, based on feedback when I've spoke with Dave and maintenance guys or anyone else, it seems like we have more leaks going on in the gymnasium. So at this time, I'm recommending that we replace the roof on Pike Central Gym. We will not be able to do the auditorium until we get some additional funding. We were about $300,000 short on being able to go ahead and update the bids. So
If it's leaking, we got to repair it.
Yep.
Make a motion that we make the changes for the high school gym and get that going.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? Not all in favor, raise your hand. Recommend approval of the VCU3 replacement.
So one of the blower coil units, or the VC3 at the Pike Central Middle School, failed in mid-May. Train reviewed it, looked at the work, how to possibly repair it. We came up with two options. One is a unit that is connected to the CTE building, or two is dedicated standalone unit for Pike Central Middle School. Option one cost $17,612 for the unit, but it included or required a monitoring system to link all of the units, and the annual fee for that ranged from $9,670 to $9,940 over the next 3 years. And of course, it would have to be extended and continued after the 3 years for as long as we have the system in place. Option two cost $18,565. It is for the dedicated unit, and we've spoken with the maintenance guys, and yes, it means they have to log into 2 different programs, but they said it's no different than what they do now, and we do not want to get caught into the long-term agreement for the other program. So my recommendation is for the standalone dedicated unit.
Okay. Therefore, we won't need the annual ranging contract. Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the replacement of the system with the standalone unit.
I second.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand. First reading of policies A200, 275, A300, A301, C175, 525, F125, G325, H125, and 150. That's it.
These are all changes that we got from Churchill and Antrim based on legislative changes. So it's the proposed changes to bring us into compliance. Again, it's first reading. If you have any changes you want made before we do second reading next month, you need to let us know.
Thank you. Other? No. Personnel, resignations, retirements, and leave of absence. Huh?
Okay, you get my little page.
Oh, I thought you said no. I was like, what?
So, yep. So we have a resignation from Stacy Davis from her position as an instructional assistant at Petersburg Elementary. Her last day of employment was at the end of the school year. We have a letter of resignation from Teresa Parker from her position at the Pike Central High School cafeteria. Her last day was the last day of school. We have a letter from Bud Boland, who is tendering his resignation, but I would call it a retirement, even if he doesn't. He's been custodian of Winslow Elementary for many, many years, and his last day of employment was June 5th, 2026. He wants to add he's enjoyed his many years of employment with Pike County School Corporation, and I know he's been very much appreciative over the years of long-term service. We have a letter of resignation from Beth Bonard as a teacher at Pike Central High School. She notes that she was there for the past 20 years, and she is moving on to new paths. We have a resignation from Andrew Russell, resigning from his position as a high school biology teacher. He's been at Pike Central High School for the last 6 years. And then we have a letter. We had spoken with Ms. Jill Barger that we would be recommending a non-renewal of her contract at the end of the school year. She chose not to pursue any of the due process options. She also decided not to turn in a letter of resignation, so you have a letter to cancel her contract.
Is that all of the resignations and retirements?
Yes.
Make a motion, we approve the resignation, retirements, and leave of absence.
Second.
Motion and second, any other discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Next, huh? Okay, right, so you can do those first. Then. Okay. All right, so next is appointments.
Mrs. Pancake has recommended the following extracurricular positions at Petersburg Elementary. Student council sponsor Nicole Griffith, student council assistant Ashlyn Boer, high ability coordinator Courtney Lovelace, spell bowl coach Kara Canoost, spell bowl volunteer assistant Jenna Franklin, and math bowl coach Justin Knight. And we have recommendation from Dustin Powell for high school wrestling, Connor Simmons and Jaden Gordon, both assistant coach, half stipends, Devin Phillips, Daniel Shelton, John Thompson, and Chris Satterfield, volunteer assistants. Boys basketball currently is asking for approval of Damon Schneer, Dalton Thurston, and Colin Tooley as volunteer assistants, and then we'll be getting more information regarding the paid positions.
Is that all of them so far? All right. Make a motion, we hire the appointments.
Second.
A motion and a second, any other discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand. Okay.
Yes. So in accordance with IC 5-3-1, the proposed contract for the superintendent was duly advertised in the Press Dispatch and posted on Pike County School Corporation website. Notice was also given that the community would have an opportunity for public comment on the proposed contract on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026 at 7 p.m. The proposed contract is attached. Having met the statutory requirements, I now recommend Mrs. Dana Defendahl for the position of PCSC superintendent.
I'll make a motion to approve
As presented.
as presented.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand.
Okay. So with that approval, I have a letter of resignation from Dana resigning from her position as assistant superintendent effective June 30th. And again, that was contingent on her approval for a superintendent, so that is in place.
Okay,
You need to do just that first.
Do what now, sorry?
You need to accept her resignation.
Oh, I'll make a motion to, yeah,
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second. Any other discussion? None, all in favor, raise your hand. Now,
And she has this letter.
okay, you,
Oh, I was, recommending Aaron Meyer for hire as assistant superintendent. Is that what you're wanting?
okay. It says here, I'm recommending, this is from Dana, I'm recommending Aaron Meyer for the position of the assistant superintendent effective July 1st, 2026, and continue, yeah, so therefore that's her recommendation. I want to say thank you guys all for your support. I understand we may not always agree on everything, and some of these people at this board may not agree, and I respect everybody's decision. So with that, I'm going to make a motion to approve the assistant superintendent position.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? Okay. Motion carries.
With that approval, we have a letter from Aaron Meyer resigning his position as principal of Winslow Elementary School, effective June 30th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. All right. Anything else?
You may not be ready for that.
No, I'm gonna wait on this. Yeah, no. So that's not on the agenda anyway. Okay. So is there anything else under personnel?
Professional.
Professional, okay. Professional leave?
We have a request from Mrs. Pancake to attend the Indiana Association of School Principal Conference in November. We have a request from Ryan Beasterville to attend the Assistant Principal Conference the week before in November. We have a letter request from Brittany Beasterville, Andrea McCutcheon, and Michelle Haas to attend the Indiana School Counselor Association Conference also in November.
Make a motion to approve it. I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, any other discussion? Not all in favor, raise your hand. All right. And now anything under other? Nope. All right. Building administrator comments. Who's first?
Thank you, Dr. Blake, for your service. Greatly appreciate you hiring me. We had 0 reports on our anonymous link to end the school year, and I have a huge thanks to Mr. Boosterville, our teachers and staff for helping maintain that positive climate. Students enjoyed the various end-of-year activities that we had going on, field trips, the 4th grade wax museum, field day, the inflatable race, which I did not win, PBIS rewards and celebrations, and then our 5th grade graduation and awards day. We were sad to see them walk the halls the last time as 5th graders at PBS, but they'll always be PES Indians. We have several teachers attending various trainings over the course of the summer, some at Pike Central and some on their own. Mrs. Lovelace passed an assessment to be endorsed for high ability. So she will have that endorsement on her license, and that's needed. We held end of year meetings with teachers and then started summer school. After that last day, we picked up a few more passing scores on IRE 3. We had about 36 students attend summer school, and I greatly appreciate the teachers and staff who held that for us. The custodians have been hard at work. Most of the carpets have been cleaned already. They've assisted some of the teachers as they've moved classrooms. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity that I've had at PBS. It's been a great year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
0 anonymous bullying reports for us as well. I'd like to just give a shout out to staff. We saw a significant drop in our overall just referrals this year. We brought in 7 habits of highly effective kids. I think Ms. Farley identified that early on. Staff's done a good job implementing that as part of our PBIS curriculum. I'm really proud of them for that. 0 expulsions to only 1 out-of-school suspension all year this year. And that's one thing we're targeted at the elementary school. I'm really proud that there's kids, if they're in trouble, we're dealing with it and holding them accountable, but also making sure they're staying in the classroom and after that. On our assessment, I-Learn results aren't back. We did look at the science results already and PLCs with teachers to get kind of a preview of what the I-Learn results would look like after the checkpoints. I read again, proud of the staff for getting a few more kids over that passing line and the students showing up every day. Really like that. Our iReady results for K2, we did go over those results with the PLC with the teachers and saw really solid growth. Again, I think that commitment to science of reading, the new curriculum that we brought in this year that we worked through showed some really solid improvements there. Just a couple community and staff highlights. I found out that Miss Russell in the library was awarded a $5,000 grant for our school for just came in to buy books for the library, so happy about that. Wanted to give Bud Bolin a shout out. We had a little impromptu staff party. That was nonetheless pretty well attended after he told us that he was retiring. He came back after breaking his hip, one of those things that I don't know if I'd be back after that, but he managed to come back and could have kept going, but I think he chose to leave on his own terms. He was ready to.
He was 90, right?
Yeah, he's about to turn 90. Yeah.
Wow.
So 26 years in his second career, so pretty cool. We had our final STEM day of the year, Fun in the Sun. We had a lot of volunteers come in for that. I got to present with my wife to the students about skin health, so that was a lot of fun to do with them. Our building level champions from the high school, middle school, and elementary are doing the offline lesson kits, and we'll have our Summer of Learning June 16th, so I encourage people to attend that, and I get a chance to preview those there, and there's a lot of other good sessions. Phil always does a really good job bringing in speakers from outside of the corporation too on that day. And then, of course, we had our field day, awards assembly, our promotion, and walk to the igloo. Always a good time. I got to walk twice. I was walking back, and some of the kids asked me to walk again, so I had to oblige with that. Just stands out to me that there wasn't any single thing this year that was a highlight, but just the way that the staff worked through all the things that are going on and kept that focus on students throughout the year.
Thank you. Thank you. Next.
At the end of the year, we were able to celebrate our students with their amazing success throughout the school year. We had a dunking booth for them. We had a pool party. This year, we were able to get in the pool and not have to wait till the next day. We had some technical difficulties last year, which resulted in the kids having to wait. So we do appreciate maintenance and everybody, helping us to make sure that was all ready to go. We had ice cream also for them, and to celebrate their hard work and their dedication. Not only of the students, but also the staff. Every student at Pike Central Middle School showed academic progress and growth throughout the school year. We keep track of their data, not only in the checkpoints, but also in their NWEA. And for that spreadsheet showed that every single student showed growth in one area or, another. Some of them in all areas, some of them, maybe more so in one than another, but everyone showed growth. So that is amazing. I do appreciate the technology staff, the custodians, for all their hard work this summer to get things ready for the start of next school year. We do have the Summer of Learning, as Aaron had said, and we're looking forward to that. It's always a great opportunity for learning. For the teachers, Phil does a great job of getting that set up for us.
We also looked at our science results. We do not have the results back for the language arts and the math yet because of the new, the new test. Those aren't anticipated to be back until September. However, if you look at the science results, our students were right up there with, with the state average, and we were within 2 points of the state average. And so when you look at like the red, the yellow, the green, across the board there, I mean, we were spot on and in fact a little bit above the state average in those color areas. So I'm very proud of their effort there. And then I would just like to say that I appreciate each one of you guys for, listening and thoughtfully considering what was presented here tonight. I know that you guys have a tough job to do, and so I just, appreciate that. I appreciate you guys' efforts. I also want to say that I appreciate the staff for their hard work and dedication. I truly believe that them showing up here in numbers, regardless of what side of the fence that you were on or whatever, that it shows that we have an amazing group of individuals that work for us on a daily basis and work with us that care about kids and what's in the best interest of kids. So regardless of what side, like I said, what side of the fence you're on, wow, they're dedicated to students, and I just really appreciate that. And I'll just say that it's why I came home, right? When I graduated, I went off to college, and my goal was always to come back here because I knew that this was a place that cared about kids, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I just, I was able to, probably wear that Charger jersey many years ago, graduated in 1997. I went, like I said, I went away, but I came back because this is where I wanted to be. And I appreciate you guys, giving me the opportunity to be here and to work with all of these wonderful individuals in this room. So thank you guys for your time, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Next. County country. Okay.
I don't have anything. You already addressed for it.
The building coming okay?
The building and everything.
I like
So,
it.
the educational building's doing good. I've been sending the updates from the meetings.
All right. Superintendent comments. Dana?
I will just add on the assessments. It might be a fun fact for some people in the room that for iLearn scoring, they mentioned the results for English language arts and math, even though we tested this spring, won't be released until later this fall. And the reason is because they wait till after all the students take the test, and then they score them, and they don't set the pass rate until they score them all to make sure that it's not too high. So Indiana's unique in doing that.
Yes.
So just an FYI. As everyone said, we have the best, I tell everyone we're special. We have the best staff and students. So.
Yeah, we only spend $900 million a year on testing in Indiana. $900 million.
Yeah, it's super valuable.
Good.
I don't know, I had my speech ready for about 30 or 40 minutes, but I think you guys probably had enough tonight, so let it go. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the words of support. It's been an interesting roller coaster ride, I can tell you that. I think we've accomplished a lot of good things. I hate it that we're in the situation that we're in. And I know the board was a little surprised when I spoke with them in March, but I'm going to be 65 this fall, and I don't have it in me to do another roller coaster. So I said, you need to find somebody who can handle it. The only other thing I've got to say, I started my teaching career over 30 years ago. I think Cassie was, were you 6th grade, 8th grade? Anyway. Byron was 2nd grade. He was excited I had a lesson plan book. So all you teachers, he thought I was a real teacher when he saw the lesson plan book. Sarah and Cassie just went with the flow,
You put us in charge of him while you were in college classes. That's the one I remember.
That's reportable in this day and age. But again, I've enjoyed my opportunity to work in education. I will always love teaching kids. And yes, I miss the classroom when I went in the administrative role. I could still do some, but I miss the kids. So anyway, thank you all. Thank you guys for giving your time tonight and sharing your input and waiting patiently through the meeting. So, and I'll see you around, and I don't have to do another board meeting. I can't say adjourn, Chris, because
Board member comments.
I got one I'd like to start off with, but I won't finish. But here's the first thing. For everybody that showed up tonight, we don't always agree on everything, but we all have the kids of this county in our best interest. I've taught in this corporation. I left the corporation, but I never left the county. All three of my kids went through this corporation, and I know what it is to be a Charger. Every decision these board members make, is what we feel is going to be the best for the students of Pike County. And here's one statistic I want you to know, and this comes from DUAB. The school I currently teach at, we have classes where there are 22, 28 kids per classroom. But Pike County, this is what we got. And this is one thing I'm proud of. Winslow, student to teacher ratio is 11-1. Petersburg Elementary, it's 14-1. The middle school is 13-1. And the high school is 11-1. My God, that's amazing. That is amazing. That tells us we are touching our kids. 11 kids per every teacher. No, that's not good enough, huh? 11 kids per one teacher. My God, I haven't had that type of class in ever. All right, well, here's the other thing I was going to throw out there. We got over 200 students that live in this county that don't attend Pike County School Corporation. If we get 200 of those, that ends up being $1.4 million for this corporation. So that's something as board members we're working on. Our new superintendent, I know, is going to work on this. And so hopefully we can get some of them students back. That is our goal. Dr. Blake, thank you for accepting that position in 2013 when I called you up to come back to Pike County from Shelbyville. We spent many nights going through stuff to try to keep this corporation where it needs to be. Again, I know you are as well as I am proud to be a Piker. That's what we're called everywhere else. Thank you for being a super. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a prom sponsor back in the many, many years ago at Pike Central and all the fun times we had at the Holiday Inn for post-prom. So, other board member comments?
Yeah, I can't pass up a chance to talk in a crowd this big. My goodness. I'm actually a 1982 graduate of Pike Central High School, which makes me a lot younger than Carla and Dr. Blake. So going forward, though, everybody that came out tonight, I really appreciate it. I've been friends with teachers my whole life. 3 of my kids are teachers. Okay. And they're all watching. Dad's going to cry on TV. Unbelievable. But no, I appreciate what you do. I want you to know that because it's boots on the ground. It's people like you that do the good things, that see our kids every day. You make them better, and we try to do everything we can to make you better. And sometimes we're not going to agree on everything. But I think the way everybody talked tonight, we're going to be professionals, and we're going to work together and have a great school year because it's going to be a tough year. I mean, we got a lot more challenges than this. Now we've got this part put to bed, so we have to get figured out, what we're going to do next, and we're going to need your help. And I want you to know you can rely on us if you have questions, you have comments. I talked about when I first hired trust, care, and being committed. And you trust us and we trust you, and we got to care about the kids. We got to be committed to the kids. And I think that's what's going to make us a great corporation. Once again, I thank you and I love you, and I'm in charge.
Same thing with me. I want to thank everybody for coming. Again, we may not see eye to eye on all the decisions that are being made. Steve, I want to thank you because you know exactly where every one of us are sitting right now. It's not a fun place to be. We're not always going to agree on things. I've been right there with the teachers for many years. I've supported you through things that some other board members didn't. But I respect every one of you and thank you for keeping everything cordial tonight. We've had a lot of information. We don't have the big support group that you guys have had, but we have a lot of information that we have gone through, that we have made, that we've based our decisions off of also. It's not like we come in here and didn't listen to you. We did. We heard you, but we also have information that we're going off of to you. So again, thank you all for being here. Dr. Blake, thank you for your years of service as superintendent. Any other board member comments?
I appreciate everybody being here. I can't top what they said, so I'm not even gonna try.
Me neither.
Being no other, I'll make a motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
So.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. Meeting adjourned.
Oh, no, I don't like them.